Happening now, locals demand answers and action to address the out-of-control youth here in Jamestown. And what we know about an attempted bank robbery downtown thwarted by quick work of JPD. Plus, the Busti community celebrates 200 years of governance.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up next. But first, public safety fears continue nearly a month after a brawl and subsequent stabbing in Jamestown, with neighbors speaking out with continued concerns about local youth who they say are out of control. Bronson Rasmussen joins us live from the newsroom today with more on what's being done about the troubling youth here in the city. Bronson?
Justin, a resident who lives just houses away from where a fight broke out between minors last month on Park Street in Jamestown, is seeking answers from our local public safety committee about what can be done to stop the violence.
There was fighting in the streets. They were yelling back and forth, chasing people up and down the roads, and they ended up stabbing a couple people. The police were called a couple different times. The neighbors are concerned for their safety.
Her solution? To keep Jamestown's youth busy.
Perhaps making some kind of programs available for them. Community service, or there's elderly people in the city that could use help. Sure, some programs through the school systems.
For many, going outdoors is petrifying.
They're concerned about their own safety. There's some people up there that are in their 70s and 80s, and they don't dare come out of their homes. Several nights, they just stay locked behind their doors, afraid of what's going on in the neighborhood.
Jamestown Police Captain Robert Samuelson said that since the initial incident, a few juveniles have been arrested. However, the investigation is still ongoing. For now, local lawmakers say to keep an eye out for more trouble.
You and I have talked several times that the squeaky wheel is going to get the oil, and so don't hesitate to advise your neighbors to call 911 when it's happening and request
We've discussed
extra
it.
patrols.
There's been people interested in getting a neighborhood watch again going in the area.
Now the police captain believes that a neighborhood watch program would be very effective, and then went on to say that a previous program in the area had worked exceptionally in that neighborhood. Reporting live in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you very much. A man is accused of trying to break into a bank after hours in downtown Jamestown. On Saturday, officers with Jamestown Police responded to the Key Bank at 417 Spring Street. Now, following an investigation, it was alleged that Zachary Conklin attempted to break into the building there. The 20-year-old's attempts, police say, was thwarted by responding officers as he was taken into custody. Conklin has since been charged with third-degree attempted burglary. And an Asheville resident is accused of breaking and entering a Jamestown residence over the weekend. On Saturday, Jamestown police officers were dispatched to a burglary in progress call on the city's south side. Now, following an investigation, it's alleged that Sean Trask broke into a house through a window. The 52-year-old was arrested by patrol personnel as he attempted to return to that home, walking through the backyard. Police say Trask, who allegedly provided a false name to avoid arrest, was found with a quantity of meth in his possession. He faces drug and criminal impersonation charges after the home's owner decided not to pursue criminal charges for the alleged break-in. Well, the town of Busti is celebrating its 200th birthday party in April, kicking off festivities on Sunday with a historical reenactment of the first ever town meeting. Our Alyssa Wright was there.
Today's event is the kickoff for the town of Busti's Bicentennial year, our 200th birthday, and we're very, very proud, to be able to do that. We have a full day planned, and our goal for today is just to have fun.
Organizers of the event speak to just how important preserving history and celebrating one's roots truly is.
History is our foundation, and it is what led us to where we are today. It's guided us. We've learned from the mistakes as well as the things that, the progress in it all. And we want people to realize that what happened in the past influenced us, and what happens today is going to influence our future generations.
The kickoff celebration was just the beginning of the festivities.
We actually have 6 months full of celebration. There will be a lecture on Kate Stoneman. Memorial Day weekend is our Memorial Day parade, and then in June there's going to be a tractor pull. We'll go back to the barn for a square dance. We are going to have a carnival come in, and that is a part of the history of Busti. They used to have the Busti Gala Days. So yeah, we're going to be busy and tired at the end, but looking forward to it.
The organizers have been tossing around the idea of adding a new event to the list of activities.
We're beginning talking about maybe doing a 5K race also in July. And so my advice is to have people just check the website out and our Facebook page, and we'll keep everybody updated during that time.
Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
All right, Alyssa, thank you very much. Certainly exciting to see 200 years there in the town of Busti. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Weather Forecaster Andrew Stevenson back from a much-needed vacation last week. And Andrew, you picked a good week to be off because of the beautiful weather, which extended into the weekend. But things got a little severe last night, depending on where you were.
Yeah, it was a beautiful week last week, and unfortunately I returned and I don't have much in the way of warm weather ahead. But yes, we did have some severe thunderstorms move through the area last night. The Jamestown Board of Public Utilities posted this photo on social media yesterday of a tree that came down in the city of Jamestown as those storms moved through. And there were some other reports of trees down across the city as the severe thunderstorms moved through out ahead of a cold front last night. That cold front has moved through already, and you can tell by the cooler weather outside. First offense Doppler radar right now, pretty quiet, although it is cloudy, but there are some rain showers starting to move their way into the region. At a high yesterday, we made it to a high of 77 degrees yesterday. Those temperatures are long gone. The low was 43, which occurred late last night after that cold front moved through. The record high for today, 85, set back in 2002, and the record low of 18, set back in 1980. So here's the forecast for the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies out there with a few showers in this afternoon. Much cooler than it was last week with a southwest wind of 10 to 20 miles per hour. Highs today only in the mid to upper 40s. And yes, we have the S word returning. I'll tell you about it in the full forecast in just a few minutes.
Say it ain't snow, Andrew. We'll see you back in a little bit as we continue this half hour. Our New York Capital correspondent is breaking down how the state's late budget might impact local schools. And later, a look at opening day for one very popular golf course here in Chautauqua County. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, Follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Blood and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The deadline for school districts in New York to put their budgets together is coming up. Our New York Capitol correspondent Elise Klein is talking to school officials about how the late state budget could impact this process.
New York lawmakers passed their second budget extender, pushing the state budget into its second week of overtime. And while the legislature can extend their budget process, school districts cannot. The superintendent of Horsehead Central School District says they are referring to numbers as they currently stand in the governor's original budget proposals.
What happens this year is because education is not the focus of the discussions that are holding up the budget, pretty much schools are going to go with the numbers that they currently have.
The governor's budget plan proposes a $2.7 billion increase in foundation aid, the state's main education operating aid formula. Hochul's proposal was adopted in both the Assembly and the Senate in their one-house budget resolutions. A spokesperson from the New York State School Boards Association says this year's budget is unique for education.
Many times in years past, the governor has proposed a certain amount and the legislature has added to that amount. And so there's been this uncertainty for school districts as far as what their state aid is going to be.
Albert adds state aid has profound impacts for school districts to set their spending levels and to know what's available for programs. The deadline for the recent budget extender is April 17th. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Elise, thank you. Now, following the Texas court decision to overturn an FDA approval of misoprostol, a primary medication used in abortion and miscarriage care, Governor Kathy Hochul is promising safeguards to abortion access. Now, last week, she also announced the state will be stockpiling 150,000 doses of misoprostol.
We will be that beacon of hope, that guiding light to bring others to our state when necessary, but let the women of this state know, as long as I'm the governor of the state of New York, your rights are protected here.
Now, other state and national leaders are also committed to protecting abortion access. U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand says she signed an amicus brief along with other members of Congress to stop the Texas court ruling.
Make no mistake, this is an all-out assault on women's reproductive freedom, our civil rights, our civil liberties, and our right to privacy.
Now, Hochul also says if the court decision stands and misoprostol is taken off the market, she'll dedicate up to $20 million to further support reproductive health care providers. Well, if you haven't finished your federal tax return yet, or maybe even started, you do get a few extra days to do it this year. The federal tax deadline has been extended to Tuesday, April 18th at midnight. That's because April 15th falls on a Saturday, and because Emancipation Day is a holiday in D.C., it's observed on Monday. If you can't make the April 18th tax deadline this year, you should file for an extension. Well, with terrific weather over this past weekend, many got out their golf clubs and hit the links, including at Pekin Peak. Erie News Now's Philip Ward took part in opening day at the links there.
Yoink that clubhouse. Pekin Peak's upper golf course is ready for the golf season to begin. Keeping the greens as well as the fairways in excellent conditions is hard work, but it certainly pays off.
Taking care of this is a challenge the way this is designed. There's a lot of maintenance that goes into it to keep it good, but we pride ourselves on having good conditions.
Tom DeKoning, Director of Mountain Operations at Pekin Peak, says the course is suitable for both experienced golfers and ones who are just starting out.
New golfers come out and see what a good course this is, and we have our regulars that come year after year and stay here and play for a few days and really enjoy it.
Oh, stingers! Enjoying it is exactly what golfers did on a sunny opening day.
You can't get any better than this, especially for the month of April.
And really enjoy the course. and the game of golf.
So there you have it. As DeConing says, a beautiful weekend to play golf, especially here at the now open Peak & Peak Upper Course. At the Peak & Peak Upper Course, Philip Ward, Erie News Now.
Thank you, Philip. Coming up next, our Washington, D.C. correspondent has more on the leaked Pentagon documents and the impact this might have on national security. And later, we tell you the story behind Libby, the library cat, here in our community. But first, Andrew has a full look at our weather forecast right after this.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Caitlin Armstrong.
Land has been quite the experience.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
Please, give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
To save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real.
Do your part.
Please.
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we're under cloudy skies. The sunshine is gone, and so are the warm temperatures. 44 degrees is the current temperature at the Jamestown Airport with a south wind of 10 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the week that was last week and how warm we got each day. Tuesday, we made it to a high of 69 degrees in Jamestown. By Wednesday, we were in the low 70s. Thursday and Friday, we made it up to almost 80 both days. Actually, we did make 80 on Friday, and then we were at 76 on Saturday and 77 on Sunday. But those warm temperatures, they are gone. The NOAA 6 to 10 day temperature outlook does not favor above average temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days. In fact, they favor well below average temperatures, starting to creep in to the Midwest and even creeping into western New York and our area with temperatures below average over the next few weeks. Here's what's happening across the Northeast right now. We had a cold front that moved through last night, and that brought in some storms and the colder air, and there's another low pressure system currently centered over Michigan, and that's going to continue to filter cold air into the region over the next few days, as well as some rain and yes, even some snow. So let's time it out on future scan to the rest of the afternoon. Mainly cloudy skies out there. Occasional rain showers will begin to mix with wet snow showers through the night tonight and continue as a mix of rain and snow showers through the day tomorrow. And then I'll show you in a minute the highest hilltops. Going to get a little bit of snow on that, and snow showers mixing with rain will continue through the day tomorrow, but eventually a weak ridge of high pressure will begin to build in tomorrow night into Wednesday, and that should dry us out for the day on Wednesday and bring in a return of some sunshine. So here's a look at those snowfall totals through Wednesday morning. We're not expecting much of anything, maybe a half an inch across the southern tier of northwestern Pennsylvania, upwards of an inch or two across the highest hilltops and the higher elevations. And now the extended forecast powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. Tomorrow, out. Temperatures might not even break 40. That's a far cry from the temperatures we had last week. That's almost 30 degrees below where we were. We do bring some sunshine back on Wednesday. Temperatures rebound in the lower 50s. A warm front will move through the region on Thursday. That brings us back into the 60s, but with a few showers. Friday, we should be dry with temperatures in the lower 60s, but another cold front moves through Friday night into Saturday. That's going to drop us back down by the time Sunday rolls around, back into the 40s with chances for showers through the weekend.
Yeah, really. It looks like we got that little taste of summer, and it's what, the second spring here? Fourth winter? Maybe on Tuesday, Andrew. Thank you very much. Well, let's get some headlines now from around the nation. And Congress is back in session today. And House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, he'll be on the road to deliver a speech to the New York Stock Exchange. He will address the state of the economy and is expected to outline how Republicans plan to raise the debt ceiling for a year. McCarthy plans to provide more details when he speaks to the Republican caucus Tuesday. He will propose a return to fiscal year 2022 spending levels at some government agencies and limit the growth to 1% in those agencies over the next decade. Well, a 21-year-old member of the Massachusetts Air National Guard is facing 2 espionage criminal charges related to the leaking of hundreds of classified documents. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp spoke with a retired vice admiral on this, who shares his perspective on the leak.
Helicopters hovered over a Massachusetts home yesterday, documenting the arrest of 21-year-old Jack Douglas Teixeira. He is an Air National Guard member who allegedly leaked classified documents online.
First comment, any leak is a problem and something you have to do a damage assessment of. And we've had a lot in our recent history. It's not a new thing to have leaks like this.
Retired Vice Admiral Robert Moret, who is a specialist in defense analysis, military intelligence, national security, and international relations, is now with Syracuse University's Institute for Security Policy and Law. He says the administration is trying to contain the fallout from the leak.
Pretty effectively, and they started doing that before the story got much attention, from what I understand, dealing with our international partners and allies, because some of them were affected by the information that was leaked.
According to reports from the Washington Post and the New York Times, the leaked documents exposed the ability of U.S. surveillance on Russia and discussed weaknesses in the Ukrainian military.
From what I've seen in the reporting, I mean, we need to have frank assessments of how things are going there. We are sharing far more intelligence with Ukraine than anything that came out as a result of this leak, and the Ukrainians know that.
The leaked info also included information on our allies. Defense officials say they are still investigating the scope and impact from this leak.
This is never good, especially if they do, reveal things that have to do with their allies. Having said that, and not having looked at every one of the documents in detail, I didn't see anything in the press reporting we've had for the last week or so that suggests there's anything truly incendiary. I mean, the fact that countries want to know what's going on in other countries should not surprise anybody.
In Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. The battle over abortion's rights is not slowing down. Vice President Harris made a surprise stop at a reproductive rights rally in Los Angeles Saturday. She called on demonstrators to fight for access to abortion and protect what comes just days after a Texas judge banned the use of an abortion pill. The Supreme Court blocked the ruling at least until Wednesday to allow justices to fully examine the issue. Well, coming up next, the story behind Libby, the library cat, and how our community is coming together to lend a paw.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
Finally here today, the staff at a small library here in Chautauqua County, they had a sad situation on their hands. A cat that lived at the library became very sick, and bills from veterinarians were piling up. Local librarians, however, soon learned how beloved the cat is to our community. Erie News Now's John Last with a heartwarming edition of his segment, The Last Word.
I'm in the Chautauqua County community of Asheville. People in Asheville enjoy coming to their public library, and not just to check out books. People also come to the library to visit with Libby, the library cat. Libby is 19 years old. She was brought to the library as a 3-year-old to help solve a mouse problem in the building. She's still here and is as common a sight at the library as the books on the shelves. Some people come to the library and do not even touch a book, magazine, or newspaper. They come to visit Libby.
Children who come into our children's library love to spend time with Libby and are often really just thrilled to discover there's a cat in the library. And she's so loving with them.
Scott Stevens is a client at the Resource Center in Jamestown. He is brought to the library each week by his community coach, Richard Gifford.
I like to play the games and see the cat and pet her and play with her. She likes that when I do that, and she loves me. I love her.
Sadly, Libby's health took a bad turn beginning 2 years ago. It got worse in January of this year.
She was losing weight, she was looking straggly, she wasn't eating, she was sneezing and sleeping, and she just wasn't her old self. We were really worried.
Bills from the veterinarian totaled $900 for the first quarter of the year as the vet cared for Libby's ear infections and lung issues. The small library has a small budget, and veterinarian bills were not part of that budget. The library staff was ready to cut programs and delay buying new books. The cat was family, and her care was priority number one.
No, there was never a question. Our board didn't question it. Nobody even thought, let's get rid of this cat. We love Libby.
Someone suggested starting a GoFundMe page for Libby. The goal? $900. And before long, the $900 goal was shattered. The library now has a contingency fund to cover upcoming vet bills for Libby.
For whatever reason, people were really just drawn to this idea that there's this poor little old cat and this tiny little library that needs our help, and the community really came together.
With The Last Word basking in the sun in Asheville, New York, John Last, Erie News Now.
John, thank you very much. She looks like a great companion for everybody. That GoFundMe campaign, it's still active. The donation page is titled Libby Needs Your Support. Libby, by the way, is still very lively thanks to her ongoing veterinarian care. The staff hopes to keep her inside the library to greet visitors for as long as she stays in good health. We have a link to that GoFundMe page if you'd like to learn more at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, that's going to do it for our show today. Of course, the news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com, and you can check out the news all the time in our free mobile app, which you can download in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We'll leave you with this live look over the HD News Now cam here outside of our studio, as certainly it is a much cooler spring day out there today. Hopefully you got the chance to get out and enjoy it.